All right. Welcome back to Northern Fantasy Sports, MMA Cast number 2. I'm here with Sebastian,
Hey there. How's it going?
and we're here to recap UFC 244.
Yeah, it was a good card. I'd say from my perspective, it lived up to the expectations. Main event was good. We'll get into that obviously,
Yep.
and the whole main card was good.
Hmm.
It lived up to what it was. I'm glad the card went well, and I'm excited for next month's card as well. What about you? What are you
Yeah,
feeling?
I was really happy with the results. I
Mhm.
think definitely lived up to the expectations. There were some good knockouts, finishes,
Mhm.
some close decision fights. So I think all in all, yeah, it was a good night. Even though there was a couple, like surprise winners and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say like the ending, it was bittersweet. I mean, the fight is what we predicted, just kind of like that brawling. It's a shame that it got stopped, but like looking back now, it is what it is. I'd say it was the right call. I mean, like looking at his eye, it didn't look good, and if it wasn't the third round, it'd be the next round anyway. So
Yeah,
yeah, it is what it is.
yeah. George was looking really good.
Yeah,
Like we predicted, both guys had great boxing, and
yeah.
it was Masvidal who was able to just look superior in all facets of the striking. So yeah, those first 3 rounds were pretty dominant, and I believe there was one 10-8 round
Yeah.
between two of the judges said that, and there was even speculation that there could have been two 10-8 rounds, but judges ended up not scoring it like that, but it didn't matter anyways because doctor stopped it.
Yeah, I wonder if the judges took account for maybe the damage. Like
Yeah,
I'd say for sure there was something. I mean, I don't know what their history is, but if they got a 10-8 round, yeah, I'd say they definitely took in the amount of damage Diaz took.
mm-hmm.
But it was a good fight. I'm happy for Masvidal.
Yep,
Hopefully Diaz comes back.
yeah,
We'll get to that too. I mean, it's a shame if we have to wait another 3 years for him.
yeah. That might be the case though.
Yeah, yeah. But where do you want to start?
I'd say we should go right into like the biggest winners and losers. I think we kind of wanted to jump in.
Yeah,
I'll probably start with Darren Till maybe.
yeah.
Um, and what did you think about that fight? You got your pick correct. You beat me there. I said got Kelvin. So
Yeah,
what did you think of his performance?
I'm happy for Till. I am. He looked great. I was pretty nervous too because he just came off two losses, and they gave him Kelvin right away, and Kelvin, he just fought for the title too, so that was no easy fight at all.
Mm-hmm.
But he looked great. He looked like that's where he belongs, which is 185. And I'm happy for him. He's been through a lot this year, and even Dana said too, they probably rushed him too fast. And looking back now, probably, but he just beat Kelvin. If he's not next, then he's probably one more fight away from fighting for the title. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, I'd like to see him fight for the title over Yoel because you don't know with Yoel if he can make weight and you had all that to deal with. But we'll see what happens. I'm happy for him. And what are your thoughts?
Yeah, he looked great. Like I thought that maybe his reach would prove to be an advantage, and it was. Like
Yeah.
Kelvin really wasn't able to land much of anything the
Mhm.
entire fight. So he looked really controlled. He looked as comfortable as he did during the first 1.5 rounds against
Yeah.
Masvidal.
Mhm.
So yeah, Darren Till, like he's still young. He's still got a lot of room to grow, and at middleweight, he's a serious contender for the
Mhm.
future. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who gets that shot. I'm very skeptical about Romero getting the shot, or I
Yeah.
guess I guess I'm very like negative towards that because the man has won one of his last 4 fights. So Darren Till deserves a chance. I think one dark horse is Jared Cannonier as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think Darren Till has made a strong case for himself with a win over Kelvin.
Yeah, I'd like to see how it plays out. If they throw Cannonier in there or Romero, then Till he'll probably have to wait a little longer. But like
Mhm.
He's definitely right up there in the top five for sure. And Kevin Lee is the other big winner too. I mean,
Yes.
we both got that one wrong, and he looked great. The knockout was awesome, and like yeah, he looked like a different fighter. And even coming in though, I was a little worried because Kevin Lee has been that guy that's been cocky. He talks a lot, and this time around he didn't say much. He just kind of kept his head down and knew that he had to prove a lot of people wrong, and he proved a lot of people wrong. So I'm
Yeah.
curious to see what happens with him next. You know, I don't know what kind of fights are out there for him right now. But like maybe Poirier.
Ooh,
Uh,
yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Like he
Somebody ranked at least, like,
yeah,
top 10
yeah,
or
exactly.
top
Like
12 range, probably.
a notable fighter, like a noble fighter for sure.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was saying the whole time after that knockout happened and you just saw Gillespie fall, I
Yeah,
kept saying immediately, I was like, that's that tri-star head kick,
yeah,
that's Faraz Sahabi's work right there, So I thought that was awesome. He looks really good under a new gym, and
yeah.
looks like he's on his way to bouncing back. So yeah, I'm excited to see who his next matchup is going to be. Um, but yeah, I think Kevin Lee's definitely improving. It's nice to see him and Till bounce back after a couple of losses. So
Hmm.
we were saying before that those are the two guys to watch, and they really came through.
Yeah. And Corey Anderson, we both got that one wrong as well.
Yeah,
He looked good. Um, just the knockout I was amazed. I thought Walker had it. I wouldn't say it was an easy fight for Walker, but I definitely thought he would live up to the hype. And no, Walker proved us wrong. And even after when he finished him, or Anderson proved us wrong, sorry.
yeah,
After the fight too, he was pumped up and good for him. He's in a similar spot to Till. He could be the next guy. I don't know if he is. I mean, Reyes is still there.
yeah. It
Um,
looks like it's gonna trend towards Reyes. It seems like.
yeah, but I feel like Anderson and Till are in the same spot where they can kind of wait and see how that plays out.
Mm.
But I'm happy for him too. He proved a lot of people wrong. I feel like a lot of people prove everyone wrong on this,
Yeah,
fight, which is good to see. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that fight?
yeah. No, we definitely went for the hype train. The
Yeah.
Johnny Walker hype. We bought into it, but yeah, Anderson looks like a very well versed striker. You know, even though he had like a bit of a reach disadvantage, I believe
Mhm.
he looked just as powerful and
Yeah.
just as strong as Johnny Walker. So yeah, he's an interesting name now in the light heavyweight contender kind of race right now. So he's definitely earned his spot up there. So that's really cool to see. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it at all, man. I really was not. So Corey Anderson definitely proved a lot of doubters wrong on Saturday.
Yeah, it's overall, I'd say it was a good card.
Mm.
Um, I didn't pay for it. But maybe we should play that part out. But whatever.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe
We can't get in trouble.
maybe we should start supporting the UFC now that we have this cast. But I mean, you know what? I think saving the $80 every month is
Yeah,
probably good too.
yeah. I mean, like, I don't think I've ever paid for a card. To be honest,
Mm.
uh, I think the only contribution I've made is like an entry fee into a big fight, like into a bar or something. But
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah.
No, like my family used to buy the cards all the time. We used to pay that $60. Like we didn't even care. We were like, back then, GSP and Anderson Silva were like must watches. So you pay the $60 for them. But nowadays, it's just kind of like,
It's a lot of money. Like if you spend what $80 a month, that's almost $1,000 a year just to watch fights. It's a lot of money.
it is. Mm-hmm.
But we have our connections. Brendan Schaub almost got us in trouble there, but
That's right.
we have we have some
Yeah,
connections.
alternate options.
Yeah.
I was so sad when that went down because that like literally for a while like all sports streams like
Yeah.
subreddits were
Hmm.
just down. So you
Yeah.
couldn't watch any like NHL streams or
I
NBA
know.
or like MMA has been the one that's been hardest to find.
Yeah.
But some of those are back now, but MMA is still gone. So luckily we found those alternate routes to avoid paying that money. So
Yeah. I was using the one stream for the main event, and then
Mhm.
it started and it just froze. So I missed maybe the first minute and a half of the first round.
Mhm.
Because I was searching for a new live stream, and then I looked on Twitter, and I think Masvidal knocked down Diaz or something,
Yeah.
and I totally missed it. And then when it reloaded, I see Diaz already bloodied up, and I'm like, all right, well, I just missed the best part. But it was a good fight, and it is what it is.
Yeah,
But
that man and his scar tissue
yeah,
just
just
worked against him so many times now in his career.
yeah.
But either way, I've kind of had this discussion with Kyle, who we were supposed to have on the show, but he wasn't able to do it.
Mhm.
But do you think the fourth and fifth round would have even made a difference?
I think Diaz would have had to finish him for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
And at that point, like I don't know if he could. Like no one can finish Masvidal. So the odds were at like were against him. Yeah, it would have been 3-2. Even if he got the fourth and fifth round, it would have been 3-2 or whatever the judges scored. So, but I would have liked to see the extra 2 rounds. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
but yeah. What about you? Do you think you'd have to?
Yeah, like when we were going over it, I was saying the same thing that it's kind of like, although Nate does excel in the fourth and fifth rounds, like finishing George is a tough
Yeah.
task.
Hmm.
And the way the fight was trending, like it was not looking like that was going to happen.
Hmm.
And like I compared it a little bit to Cormier versus Stipe. Like
Yeah.
Cormier slowed down significantly in the
Yeah.
fourth round,
Yeah.
and like even a little bit in the third, but not so much. But like George did not look like
No.
DC
Yeah.
did in that fight, and Nate did not look the way Stipe did in that fight.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I think George had plenty of energy, and it would have been really hard for Nate to do anything. And with him already being down 30-26 after 3 rounds to two
Yeah.
judges, like a decision is completely out of reach at that point. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I
So
don't think it was going to happen for Nate either way.
so where does Masvidal go from here then? Do you think?
Well, he's been calling out Mr. Canelo Alvarez. He's been calling out McGregor. So I have no idea what George. He's probably looking for that money fight now. He's going to keep trending towards that. But I think Dana's probably going to want to convince him to take the winner of Usman and Covington, especially if Colby wins. Like
Yeah.
that would be a great storyline. Former teammates that are now kind of enemies. Um, but if he did decide to go over to boxing, if he did decide to go fight Canelo, he would probably lose.
Yeah.
And a McGregor fight, although that would be pretty sweet, I just don't see that happening right now.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you think about it, he's in a similar position to what Connor was when he beat Alvarez. Like,
Absolutely, yeah.
he's looking for that money fight. He has a lot of options. Um, and I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I'd like to see him and Covington. I just feel like if it's him and Usman, it's still marketable, but
Mm-hmm.
like between Usman and Covington, Covington's driving that boat for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like people are tuning in to watch Covington, not necessarily Usman.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I hope Covington doesn't win, but I'd like to see that for sure.
Yeah.
So that's definitely an option. Uh, what else is there? I'd say yeah, McGregor, but I don't see Canelo. I don't see it happening, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, uh, you know, um, yeah, I don't know what else there is for him. Like, I definitely
Yeah,
say
it's only great fights from here. Like after beating Nate, I think they're like before the Nate fight even kind of came into place, the whole bad motherfucker thing.
yeah,
He was already trending towards getting that next title shot.
yeah,
So that is definitely like I think that's like stone, like in concrete, like that would happen if he wants it. But
yeah,
yeah, I think he's probably knowing George and his personality now. I think he's gonna try to like go for those money fights and call out Connor while he can. But yeah, like Connor's gonna be fighting Cowboy or Gaethje in January, I think. So I don't see it for George.
yeah. I mean, like,
We'll see.
yeah. Right now, it's either winner of Covington, Usman, McGregor, or they could do the rematch with Diaz again. But I don't think Dana wants to do that, and I don't think Diaz wants to do it either now. So
Yeah, Nate's he's gonna retire, I guess. So
yeah, yeah. But
see how long that lasts.
Yeah, moving on to Connor though, they said, or his coach said that a deals is it's in place. They won't reveal the opponent. What do you think? I mean, like, are we gonna see announcements soon?
Yeah, I think we should, as long as they're true to their word, which they are not always. So we'll see what happens. But I think it's going to be Cowboy. It's definitely trending towards that. Lots of hints and stuff dropped by Cowboy and by both sides. So um, that's my guess. When that'll be announced, I don't know, because usually it's a few months before, and it's already about a week into November. So it should be pretty soon because tickets will be going on sale for a card like that like soon enough.
Yeah, I'm like
It could be this week or next week.
the only concern I had is that like last week would have been the perfect time to announce it at a
Yeah,
press conference or something, like a promo. But we're still 2 months out from his proposed date, which is doable. But we're getting kind of close to his proposed date.
yeah,
So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he follows through, and hopefully we see him back in the octagon. I like to see that fight, and I won't get my hopes up though. I won't get my hopes up.
yeah, yeah. I think everybody's kind of like they're waiting for that, but they're not at the point where it's like, oh yeah, like we're ready for that to happen. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
let's see if Connor's just bullshitting.
yeah.
So, but
Uh,
if his coach is coming out and saying that, then I have a good kind of like instinct that at least management wise they are really working to get something done. So that's at least a good sign.
yeah, like I said last episode, I'll see when I believe it. So,
Yeah, yeah.
or I'll wait.
So
I think I said that wrong. I'll believe it when I see it. That's kind of yeah,
I got you. I got
yeah.
you,
All
man.
right, all right, all right. Anyways, what
Um,
else we got on here?
so you had an interesting question you put on here. Should the badass motherfucker belt be an actual thing? And my answer to that is no. I think no. I think it was a great one time experience, one time event. Um, but like, what is even the criteria for that? I don't get like how they would even organize that. Like maybe if that McGregor fight materializes, maybe they'd fight for a bad motherfucker belt. But for now, like I'm just kind of seeing it like just dissolving and not being a thing anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence of that. What you just said. What's the criteria? I mean, you. I don't know how to pronounce his name perfectly, but Ivanov, who just fought Lewis,
Yeah.
he got stabbed when he was younger or something, and then
Mhm.
like 2 years later, he's back in the ring. Does that qualify for him for the belt? I mean, obviously it's a different weight class, but like
Yeah.
you know, Gaethje, why not Gaethje? He should be there. But
Mhm.
like I said, nothing's very straightforward. But I definitely say if it was McGregor or Masvidal, why not put the belt on the line? You
Yeah.
know. But it was a nice one-time thing. It was something new, and we got to see a super like a super fight, a fan favorite fight. It was
Yeah.
nice to see. Um, that's the other option. Maybe Masvidal defends it against someone else who we think is deserving of a title shot in that category. I don't know. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, yeah, because yeah, that's the big question is what is the criteria? Like, does
yeah,
Masvidal have to defend it, or can it be a multi weight class
yeah,
belt?
yeah,
You know, like, and another thing is how many fighters are actually going to give a fuck about that? Like,
yeah, exactly.
all of them are working towards like an actual title.
Yeah,
Like, who's going to want to stop and be like, well, I guess for the money, like that's maybe the one thing. But I mean, a lot of those guys like are already marketable in themselves. So any fight that they actually have is going to do just as well. So I don't know. It's just it's confusing to me, and I don't really. I kind of feel like it's gonna work itself out of the UFC eventually.
where would you rank Masvidal in terms of, I guess, most popular, most marketable fighters right now? Let's. I was gonna mention this in the last video, but give me your top five. Let's say.
Oh yeah.
'Cause there's
Well,
so many options, but I don't know. I'd
I
like
mean,
to.
there's no doubt that Connor is number one, regardless of whether he's fighting or not,
Yeah,
because he just has that international appeal, um, and like he's just so mega popular, like so much more than any other fighter in the UFC. It's crazy. So I think he's probably still my number one. I still think, regardless of when he comes back, that would still be the most watched fight in a long time probably since Khabib. But that's my number two is Mr. Nurmagomedov himself, who is becoming an international superstar and is just really blowing up and is so dominant that he's like must watch TV. So he's probably my number two. But yeah, Masvidal, I don't know if he would make it into my top five. I mean, he's definitely getting up there.
Like who else would be there? Like Jones, Diaz.
Yeah, like Jones. I'm thinking maybe Nunes.
Yeah. But even Nunes.
And then Izzy is probably getting up there as well.
Yeah, Izzy's on there. Even Nunes, next month card, she's the third. She's the third fight on the main card.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say she can headline a pay-per-view herself. That's the concerning part. But yeah, I'd say Israel behind Khabib, Jones. Although the problem with Jones is he's always winning, which I shouldn't say it's a problem, but he needs to do something that's gonna bring over the top, like a super fight with Israel.
Yeah, because that's the thing is right now his opponents are kind of not the most marketable guys right now. Mm-hmm. So Reyes, Anderson, Blachowicz. Sorry if I butchered that name too, but like all three of those guys, like they don't really sound appealing in terms of interesting fights because everyone's just gonna think John Jones is gonna beat that guy's ass, which he normally does. And like I guess the Santos fight is a bit of an exception, but I still feel like he controlled that fight pretty well.
Yeah,
and I feel like Reyes and Blachowicz especially. I don't know so much about Anderson. We'll see, but I feel like those two guys at least don't have the power to do much against Jones. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's tough. Like you would really hope that he moves up to heavyweight, or maybe Izzy eventually moves up to light heavyweight or something like that. But
I guess the other name too is probably Covington if he wins next month. No matter if you like him or hate him, like he's gonna be in the top five for sure. I'd put him in the top five.
Yeah, I'd also say like before Askren got flying knee, he was getting up there in terms of marketability. I'd say Tony's probably up there too. But yeah, I'd say to round out my top five is probably Conor, Khabib, Jones, Izzy, and tough to say, but I'd actually say Nunes probably.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'd go Conor, Khabib, Jones, Izzy, and right now I'll go. Even still, I still think Diaz is more popular than Masvidal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go Diaz as 5. And then 6 and 7, I'd go Masvidal, Covington.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that list.
Yeah, but what else we have on the agenda? I mean, next month we have a big pay-per-view, but we'll probably save that for another video.
Yeah, we already like previewed it a little bit, but yeah, we'll go even more in depth when we get closer to that. That's another guy we forgot to mention is Faber. Faber always draws in a lot of
That's true.
A lot of views and everything for his fights. Mm-hmm. So if he can keep winning and the bantamweight division gets a couple great matchups, maybe a fourth fight with Cruz, maybe a third one with Aldo, maybe one with TJ down the road. Those are some marketable fights too. But yeah, either way, we'll break down Faber and the rest of that card soon enough.
And to anyone who's watching, when we make our picks, if you want to win money, just do the opposite of us, and then you'll probably win money that way. Because our track record last week wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. But I'm just saying, if I pick a guy in the red corner, make sure you pick the guy in the blue corner, and then I'm sure you'll come out on top.
So, what was your final record for picks on the weekend?
So I got Lewis, I got Thompson, I got Till, and that was it. So 3 out of 6.
Okay. Yeah, that was 2.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
you know, we're getting there, slow and
We'll
steady.
work on it. We'll
Yeah,
work on it.
slow and steady.
We did better in the last couple of pay-per-views. Like
Yeah,
I went perfect on my picks for the Stipe DC fight,
yeah.
and then I did pretty well for 240. Sorry, no, that was 243. What was 242? Oh, Khabib Poirier. I did pretty well for that too.
Yeah, but then when you went against Joanna, it all went downhill from there. So
Yeah, that was a tough one. I
yeah,
just like I wanted to win money on Waterson. I wanted to be that smart guy that's like nobody's gonna pick her. You know, I'll bet $10 and win like $50 or something.
yeah.
She
But
had
then
massive
I
kicks.
told you to parlay it with Gracie, and then Gracie lost, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He fought pretty well, but Waterson did not. So
yeah. She got yeah. But Joanna, that's another big fight coming up. So hopefully we hear something about that. I know she's in Indonesia or something right now. So
oh yeah,
she's just enjoying life. Good for her. Happy for her. And can't wait till she gets that belt back.
man. I just want my girl Thug Rose to come back so she can just put an end to all this nonsense at
She's
strawweight.
farming. She's happy on the farm, she said.
Man, man. I'm still disappointed about that fucking body slam loss.
Yeah, yeah. It was a pretty bad way to, go out, but
She was dominating that fight too.
yeah, she was. She was. Anyways, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
No, I think we're good to go. Either way, it was a great card. Lived up to the expectations
Yep.
for sure. Definitely a disappointing end, but either way, George gets a finish, which is cool enough for his record, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the future. Like whether, we talked about those gigantic super fights that he's kind of pushing for right now, or whether he just gets the winner of Kamaru and Colby.
Yeah, he has a lot of options. I hope Canelo is not one of them.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
It'll be
come
a
on.
waste of time.
Yeah, learn from Connor. Like, make your money in your own sport.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that was a good show. If you guys liked it, make sure you tune in. What, this Saturday we're gonna do with Adam, our weekly
Yeah,
NFL
this
pick?
Saturday. I don't know if it's going to be uploaded on Saturday,
Okay.
but that's when we're going to record it.
Okay.
So yeah, stay tuned for some football action.
We should probably upload before kickoff though. Or like,
I know that's going to be difficult. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Great card, and we'll be back next month for 245.
Yes, sir.